Washington, D.C. I'm a first-generation native Washingtonian. My parents are actually from the South. Dad from Dallas, mom from Memphis, Tennessee. They met at the airport on their way coming to D.C. And they've been together for 42 years now. But when we first got here, as most people, you don't know where to live. And so you go where your money can take you. Therefore, we started out in 800 Park Southern, right down Southern Avenue in Southeast. And for us, it was big time living. I mean, but as the neighborhood started to transition, you started to realize, hey, wait a minute. This is the DC they don't tell you about. So this is the true chocolate city. This isn't the Monument and the White House and the Lincoln Memorial. This is, go-go. This is the P12 and the W6 coming up and down, Southern Avenue. So, but it was a good time. So yes, one of the few true native Washingtonians. The last 10 years has really been interesting because now I'm an old man and I'm able to see some of the things that I wasn't able to see as 10 years ago. For instance, just coming to where we are now, having to look for parking. You never had to look for parking anywhere up and down this portion of Georgia Avenue. I mean, it was it's community-based businesses, it's, some student housing, but for the most part, it was cool. I mean, that's more so 15 years ago. But 10 years ago, you're talking about the transition now from U Street. You're talking about transition from portions of Southeast and of course, the Southwest quarter. You talk about Nats Stadium being built, which that was dump trucks and homeless housing. Now it's Caribou and Whole Foods and I mean you name it. So it's definitely been Christopher Columbus-like atmosphere where people are quote unquote finding property and discovering things that they never knew existed. The whole time it's generations that have been there with different sets of values and community belonging. But this is a capitalistic society, so if you got the money, you can make the rules. And it's funny because what happens is you'll start to see people that want to come in and bring their way of life to already existing culture. And it's not good or bad, in my opinion. It's just how it is in a capitalistic society. You have the money, you make the rules. You get the police behind you because police are for protecting property. So whoever has the most property, that's who the law enforcement's going to side with. I think this started with Mayor Anthony Williams, who is a black man. Wanted to flip the city, and the first major project that really started this ball rolling, again, because this isn't new. People don't know this, but Georgetown used to be an all-black area. Like, Georgetown was black. And that was like one of the first times when you saw how this thing could happen. It went from row houses and churches and community things to Gucci, go up Wisconsin, it's just all these trendy stores and coffee shops. That was Georgetown. I wasn't around for that. That was before my time, but I heard stories about that. But I was around for the Verizon Center that came. It was called MCI Center first. That area on 7th Street was all federal workers and homeless people. At 5 o'clock, downtown was dead. Nobody did anything downtown. You got your ass back to wherever you lived at. But when the Verizon MCI Center at that time came, it was Abe Poland left Maryland, Prince George's County, the Capital Center, which was in Landover, Maryland, which is only about 15 minutes from D.C. But he brought that Capital Center concept for the Wizards, the Bullets at the time, the Mystics, which didn't exist, they play there now, and the Washington Capitals. Brought a major sports franchise to the middle of downtown D.C. That revitalized and brought business and dollars back to the middle of the city. Developers saw that and said, oh my goodness, you mean I don't have to go and pay all these Virginia property taxes and build something out there? Or I don't have to go deal with the Prince George's County municipality and what they got going on? I could come into the actual city and make money But guess what? I can find these properties because this stuff is desolate and old. It's all federal buildings. So I'm basically discovering something. So with the Verizon Center, was now Capital One Arena, that was the hub. And then you had Chinatown one block up. So they just made this whole place called Gallery Place, where now it's arguably probably the busiest portion of the city. So it all goes back to ownership. It's easier to tell someone to not do something than to help them build something. It's easier for me to hit you than to help you. So if I'm protecting property and you're the owner, it's a lot more difficult. It takes more of a community feeling, a community partnership for me to say, hey, let's help build this together, versus me say, get out here, go. I can say, get out here, go all day. And if they're calling me, telling me, hey, they're not authorized to stand in front of there. What is they gonna stand in front of there before you got here? And in fact, they own that. Like right down the street, the whole go-go music, is too loud. That's part of the culture. When people go to Howard and they're from California or Texas or Illinois and they get here, that's part of, oh, what's that? Oh, okay, this is my school, this is my block, this is my area. Let me pick that trash up. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and make sure this is good because this is ours. But when an outsider comes that may not understand that, yes, it does sound like noise. Because I have paid $1.4 million to be in this, whatever they call it now, area, NOMA or whatever, whatever name they make up to take away the connotation of what it was. I don't know anything about that. The real estate agent told me I'm getting in at the ground level for $1.5 million. But they don't tell you that people have been here for generations. I'm actually a basketball coach. So I'm in the gym all the time with these kids and just getting ideas. And one of the things that I'm coming up with is an app that identifies black businesses close to metro stops. We call it hungrymetro.com. So essentially, when you pull out your phone and you download our app, you'll be able to locate businesses that specify black services and black needs. For instance, Sankofa, if I got off at the Shaw stop and I'm walking, I would see all these things pop up, bloop, 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 and these would be businesses that you can patronize to help assist that dollar circulate, because we have the largest for a community of people buying power of any other community of people in the world. You used to be able to tell where someone was from by how they dressed and talked. And with the advent of social media and the internet, that's getting less and less, because a lot of people are assimilating general cultures where I could get a mohawk, put on some skinny jeans and a hoodie, and I'll be cool in any city USA. That's cool, but it's not. I like how cities used to have their own vibe and their own culture, their own, swag. Pay attention to the things that are inherently DC, like go-go music, which is fading and being incorporated into other things very fast, like mumble sauce. I've seen restaurants now incorporate that, like Papa John's and the Hamilton, which is a restaurant group that's class off now. They have mumble sauce, but that's something that's a DC thing that we're proud of. Just different things that you could say, hey, I live in Washington now, and this is what they do, and it's good for our natives that are here now. Most of us got pushed out anyway because we couldn't afford to stay in the city. But maybe let's ensure that we start talking about ownership and just let's figure some other things out, because it can flip real easy. And Chocolate City is no longer Chocolate City. I mean, a lot of people call DC the Black Disney World, because there's no other place consistently where you can make 6 figures and be around this many educated people that look and talk and walk and sound like us. But it's dwindling. But so for the ones that's here, keep pushing. Each one teach one. Keep it moving. Support places like Sankofa and projects like yours.